Hi there, my name is Chinwenwa, your host on the Money Magnet podcast, and we're back again on all streaming platforms, especially now on YouTube. I just want to say a big thank you to all our listeners who kept listening despite our long break. Remain blessed as you listen to today's episode. On this week's episode of the Money Magnet podcast, I want to talk about what to do when you lose a parent or a loved one. For me, it was quite difficult navigating this process. I just lost my mom less than 6 months ago, and I went through grief in a way that I would not like. I searched for resources to help me heal and move forward, but all I could feel was numbness, confusion, and so much emotions gathered together. Now I'm out of it and I'm trying to help others to seek the same thing on their journey of grieving. I'll be highlighting a lot of things. I'll be highlighting how to show love and respect to the body, logistics that you need to handle, gathering important documents, discussing with relatives or announcing the death of the loved one. Also meeting up with the demands that are like bills you have to pay that the loved one has been doing, or dependents that have been depending on your loved ones, how to sort that out, and also how to create your own support group at this trying time. So by the end of this episode, you'll be sufficiently empowered to navigate this first stage of grief without ruining your mental health or body. So most people are not prepared for the day that they lose their parent, not because that they never saw it coming, but because no one tells you what happens afterwards. One moment you're grieving, another moment you're sorting bills, another moment you're making decisions, calling people, finding documents, and notifying relatives. All this can be so heartbreaking because life still has to go on. Grief is really a strange place to be in. It doesn't arrive alone. It comes with a lot of paperwork. It comes with a lot of responsibilities, decisions, and emotions. So you have to be ready to handle this. Even if you just recently lost a loved one, you still have to know how to figure out everything at the moment this happens. So you need to take it a step at a time. In today's episode, I want to walk you through some of the most important things to focus on while you're navigating this process. That's the first days and the weeks that will come after losing a loved one. It's not just emotional, but it is practical as well. Because healing begins when we create stability in our lives during the process of grief. The first act of love after death is treating your loved one's body with dignity and respect. If you're fortunate enough to be around when this happened, you comb the hair, brush the hair, or tidy up the hair, clean them up, probably with a towel. You can put them on their bed while you're doing this. Clean them up with a towel, cut their nails, prepare them like they are still alive, like you're dressing them up for a good day. I know this can be heart-wrenching, but please do not scream to attract neighbors, especially in climates like ours in Nigeria, where you don't want the wrong people to say the wrong things outside or to handle this situation wrongly. Try as much as possible to cry in a quiet way, mourn, talk to the body, tell the body to get back, come back, or the spirit to come back if you want to. Talk closely to the ears. Whatever unresolved conflict you have, discuss this. Talk closely to the body and the ears. And I know the spirit is still hanging around. They will see that. So the reason why I say do not scream, do not jump up and down during this moment is because the spirit is still hanging around and they might be wary seeing you in that position. Try as much as possible to curtail that while you're preparing the body to take to the morgue or mortuary. Meanwhile, you can get someone, if you're not in an emotional state to do this, you can get someone to light a candle for the soul that has just departed. I did that. I didn't light the candle on my own. I had to ask someone to help me do that because I was not in the emotional frame of mind to do that day. So you can either light the candle yourself or get someone to light a candle to light their path to the other realms. Another thing you should take note is do not leave the house without gathering. If this happened in the house, do not leave the house without gathering all the necessary documents that you need. For example, if there are medical receipts, medical cards, whatever it is, gather it up, make sure that everything is in an envelope, go through their personal belongings to know the right things that you need. It's quite a trying time, but what has to be done still has to be done. If you can't do it, then find a sibling or close relative there that you trust, mark my words, that you trust to help you gather these documents. Okay, so before making logistics, you need to start thinking about the funeral home. You need to start thinking about the mortuary where you're keeping her. Do you want the person in the freezer where there's 24 hours light, or do you want to do it depending on your religion immediately? Those are the thoughts that will help you out as well. But before that, you need to sit down a little and write out what you know about this person, in the sense that what does this person believe after death looks like? What does this person want? You can even search. Sometimes they do write it down what they want for their burials. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they tell you. You can try and remember if your parents ever told you or your loved one ever told you, this is how I wish to be buried. Write it down. All this so you do not forget because of grief. This is a time for you to sit down and write everything you know about their beliefs towards death. This will guide you a lot. So this may be a difficult act to carry out, but remember, these final little details you're putting down will help you to bury your loved one in honor and give her the last respect and honor that your loved one desires. Another thing you have to recognize is the fact that documentation of everything is very important. So if the loved one died at home, you need to go to the hospital that he or she, if she was sick before, that he or she has been attending, and let them know so they can come check the body and give you a death certificate. If the body was, if the person departed in the hospital, then that's easier. They can give you the death certificate there as well. So you need that to drop the body in the morgue. Very important step. I said before you leave the house as well, take your time. Don't rush to go deposit the body in the morgue. Take your time. Look for all the documents you can ever think of. If they have a will, fine. You try and look for it if they kept a copy in the house. Or if they have their official documents in the house, you gather that up as well, because everything, every little detail is important as you go along this process. If they are already retired, try and gather as much information about their pension as you can, and keep that in a separate folder. Organize all these things to help you in future. Now, handling the logistics of the body. The moment after death, one feels like there's so much confusion. I don't know what to do, what next, and all that. But we know that the body can stay with us for so long. The max we can stay with the body is 24 hours. The next step would be for you to go get the body registered or dropped at the morgue. Like I discussed before, like I mentioned before, you go discuss with the family members or amongst your siblings. How do we deposit this body? Depending on your religious belief, by the way. So if you're to deposit the body at the morgue, you have to decide, do we want it in the freezer or do we want it just the regular embalming? I encourage people to try and get the freezer so the body stays fresh till the day of the burial if you can. Okay, so this is when you start notifying the family members. Do not notify the family members until you have the death certificate and the morgue receipt or tally in your hands. Okay, this is a powerful thing that you would not know how important it is until the time comes for it. You have to have the tally, that's mortuary receipt and tally, and also death certificate in your hands. Do not release it to anyone else. Very, very important, especially if this person is a parent or a sibling or a husband. Very important you hold this to yourself before you even notify the loved ones. Now, after you've deposited the body, you can now notify everyone. They can come meet you there or meet you at home if they wish to. Another thing you can do is to find out traditionally who buys the coffin, because we're in Nigeria, right? And there's some cultural things that have to take place when burying the person. Especially if you're going to go the traditional route of taking the person to the village, doing the rites and all that, then you have to find out on time who gets to buy the coffin. There are rules and regulations guiding all that. who gets to take care of the dependents as well. Like, for example, when I lost my mom, in my culture, they said a married woman cannot take care of my dad anymore. So you need to find out this. Okay, this will help you to do the right thing for your loved one as they pass on. Um, find out who gets to buy the coffee. It could be the first daughter, it could be the first son, depending on where you come from. Do not post anything on social media yet until all this are settled. Allow people to help you as well. You can call people like, oh, I need help with this rights. How do you do this? How do you do that? And don't forget, communicate. Also communicate with all their associations, your loved ones' associations that they've joined. Let them know as well that they are gone, because they will bring financial contributions that will help you for the burial as well. Okay, try and communicate to those ones as well. Whatever association, workplace association, church association, whatever it is that they belong to, try and communicate to them that they are gone. Okay, so they can help you in so many ways. Sometimes this you can say, oh, we take care of the transportation back to the village, or we will take care of the feeding, or whatever it is that they can offer you. All help is needed at this time, so you need it. Carry everyone along. Now, another thing could be that, okay, the loved one died in the hospital and they live alone. You have to go back to the house or find somebody that can go back to their house and lock it up, because people's intentions are not pure. Some people can come into their house with the mindset of stealing. We don't want that. You want to respect the properties of the dead. So get someone immediately to man that house or lock it up. The jewelry, secure their jewelry, secure whatever it is that they own that is of value, secure it. Even their clothing, secure it. Make sure it's safe and under lock and key. Very, very important. This will be important because in future you might see that you may actually need something important and it's been stolen. Why? You don't know why, because you were not conscious. You were grieving your parents and somehow somebody went in and stole something. So you don't want that to happen. Another thing, like I said, is to arrange for someone to take care of the dependents. You can, if it's a child, you can get to pay someone or assign it to a cousin or relative, or find out the traditional way to go about it. Sometimes if you have extended families that are nice, you can make use of them to take care of these dependents. Another thing you have to know is bills will keep piling. Your parent or your loved one was probably paying bills that you didn't know about. With time, those things will manifest and you have to be ready to pay those bills. You have to be ready, look around the house, light bills, what's going to be needed here, light bills, water bills, internet bills, prepare your mind for all that. Subscriptions, mortgages, school fees, prepare your mind for all that. You have to be ready. Take time to identify these financial obligations, share it with people that can help as well. If you have trusted friends that can help you with that, because in the middle of all this chaos, life is still going on, trust me, and you don't want everything to pile up to the overwhelming point. So now you have handled more than half of the things you're supposed to for the first week or first few days of the death. You start to think about, how do I plan the burial? How do I bury this person? This is a time that is very, very sensitive because a lot of family pressure and opinions will come up. A lot of financial decisions will be taken. A lot of brouhaha will come up, trust me. But you have to keep your mind on what really matters. What really matters at this point is, how do I honor this person? How do I bury this person in such a way that the person will say, yes, this is what I wanted. Okay, that is what you should know. Honor them first. That should be at the back of your mind. Whatever it is you're doing, if you're doing a burial for someone above 50, trust me, you're going to throw a party. To be expected of you. Keep your mind open for that. You might have to cook, especially in Nigeria. Here, you might have to cook. You might have to call dancers, entertainers, stuffs like that. So do not let that overwhelm you. There are traditional ways of handling this in different cultures to make it easier for you. Then, even if you do not know, please run and go and get a funeral home to help you out. Even if you don't know what to do, even if you think you don't have the money, please hurry and get to a funeral home. They are the first set of people that know what to do because they've been doing this for a long time and they know the culture of the people there. They can guide you, even if you're not going to pay them to do the whole thing. They can give you a list of things. You can select a few things they can do for you, while your family and friends can do the rest for you. Or if you can sponsor it, you can pay for the whole thing for them to handle the digging of the grave, the setting up of the parlor, the what else? So many things, the entertainment, the bands. Trust me, you need to get to a funeral home when you're confused like this. They will guide you. They will tell you, oh, we can do this for you, we can do that. Then you look at the list and see which one can my family members do, which one can the funeral home people do. Okay, don't let it overwhelm you. It is possible. I did it. You can do it. So what you should bear at the back of your mind is you're not impressing, you're not doing this to impress anyone, you're doing this to honor your parents. Whatever it is that you see befitting is what you do. When you go to the villages, they may demand so much from you, okay? But you have to learn the skill of negotiation. Do not quarrel with them because this is a sensitive time. They may want to bring up a lot of things that might upset you, but remember, this is a sensitive time. Do not, I repeat, do not quarrel with them. Try as much as possible to learn how to negotiate your way out of their brouhaha and their problems. You have to get someone, an uncle, a relative that's on your side. If you're lucky enough. If you're not, then damn the consequences and bury the person without them. It is possible, actually. What matters most is you did the right thing at the right time. Make sure whatever you're doing the right thing at the right time. Okay? Because a meaningful farewell is a way of showing love to your parent or loved one that just passed. It doesn't have to bring you down. As long as your family values and financial reality are in order, you are fine. Okay? Most people think that grief looks like sadness, but it is a lot of emotion. It is anger, it is guilt, it is fear, it is relief, it is confusion, it is numbness. It is a whole lot of bunch of emotions that you cannot pinpoint at a time. Most times it all comes crumbling down and you want to fall on your knees, you want to cry, you want to tear your hair out, you want to do all sorts. Sometimes you can even find yourself laughing for no reason. Honestly, it happened to me, so yeah. All these are normal. Grief is not a straight line. It's a lot of emotions. Why? Because you're trying to process where this person is at this time in life. Like, can I still reach out to this person? What's going on? I can't believe it. So many things going on in your mind, you know. So some days you feel strong, some days you won't. Some days a song will make you cry. Some days the words they say will make you cry. Some days the videos you watch about them will make you cry. Some days you will jump up and say, I refuse to be sad. So instead of fighting your emotions, allow this space. There is time for everything, actually. It is normal to feel this way. Allow it, because healing has to happen when you release your emotions. Now, talking about emotions, you need to build emotional support. Try and reach out to your friends, your spiritual guidance, your loved ones, whoever it is that you know you can really confide in. You might not have to stay at home at this point. You can go stay with them in their house. They would understand if they are open to that. If you feel like staying at home, fine, you can stay at home. But trust me, you need emotional support. Someone has to be there with you. Someone has to see you through. Do not reject anybody coming close to you, because at that time, you might not even know what you're doing. You need someone to direct you as well. Open up to trusted family members. Try and help them come close to you too as well. They may not have all the answers that you are asking. You know, when someone dies like this, you ask a lot of questions. You're like, why? Why does this have to happen now? Why this person? Why? You know, but trust me, they don't have answers, but at least they have a shoulder you can lean on. You can cry on, and from there you can move forward. Before I go on, I just want to tell a little bit of my story and my experience of what happened when I lost my mom. I knew she was dying because she had a lot of seizures for hours, over 12 hours. And but I didn't know what next. I didn't know what to do, you know. I was confused in my mind. I was praying. Even if she dies, she can come back and wake up again, you know. For over an hour, I was talking to her, please come back, and it didn't happen anyway. So I had to huddle around my siblings. That's important. This is a time when sibling rivalry or whatever has to stop. Like, this is a time when you have to unite with your siblings. Because if you really want to see your mother or your father, whoever you've lost, you see it in your sibling as well, because they are an extension of them. So I had to huddle around my siblings, hold them tight, and console them. I couldn't cry that day, trust me, but I knew that I had to console them. You know, I was so confused what to do. I already knew I was supposed to like take care of my mom, bathe her, clean her, but because of the confusion, and that's why I'm doing this podcast, so you don't get confused and overwhelmed that day. Because of the confusion and everything going on, I forgot to do that. I think the nurses did that for her. Fortunately, she died in the hospital. So I'm happy for that. And I had to call someone to light the candle for me as well, for my mom to cross over. And yeah, it was more like trying to get other people, because I'm the first daughter, get other people to calm down and find our way home first before we know what next to do. Meanwhile, I gathered all the documents that I think my mom owns for properties, everything, because I don't want any situation. When I go home, I made sure I gathered every document I could find about my mom, because I don't want any situation where I'm not in the house and a stranger comes in, because definitely people will come in to say sorry. A stranger comes in and picks up something. I don't want that situation. So that was the first thing I did. I gathered her documents, gathered her jewelries, and kept them where I know would be safe. Then I now had to find a friend to stay with for the moment. Okay, I had to take my dad to my house first, or after some time I discussed it with him. When he found out, he wasn't in the hospital when it happened. Okay, so I discussed it with him. You have to go to my house and stay for some time because we need clarity at this moment. So I went to a friend's place. I stayed, locked up the house, came back, and that helped me understand that even when you are dumb and numb, things still have to go. And in fact, it was so crazy because it was a festive period. People were celebrating, people were happy. So I was like, who is going to celebrate at this time? Like, why are people even happy when I'm going through this? So it was so funny, honestly. Anyways, this is for you to know the right thing to do. My consolation for you, if you're going through this right now, will be 1 Thessalonians 4:13-14. And it says, brothers and sisters, we do not want you to be uninformed about those who sleep in the Lord, okay? Or who sleep in death, sorry. So do not grieve like the rest of mankind who have no hope. For we believe that Jesus died and rose again. And so we believe that God will bring with Jesus those who have fallen asleep to him. So for me, the line I took out there is, do not grieve like the rest of mankind. I refuse to grieve like the rest of mankind. Yes, I was hurt. Some days I feel like I want to fall down and I can't breathe. But I knew that I cannot shout. Like, I just didn't want to start creating drama. All this I was doing in the corner of my friend's house, you know. Grief is actually evidence of love. It is love that has nowhere to go. It means you really love this person, but you don't know how to pour it anymore because the person is no longer in that body, okay? So the depth of your sorrow also shows the depth of your love. Sometimes it may not, okay? So don't rush it. Let the process go on gradually every day. Take it a day at a time, a day at a time. You get healed. You get there. If I'm saying this in less than 6 months, I believe you will. And that's why I'm doing this video for you, okay? That's why I'm doing this podcast episode. So trust that with time and support from people, you navigate this grieving process. Take it a day at a time. And you have to trust God at this time. I know it's hard. It's really hard. It was hard for me to even talk about God in my mind. I was like, that man should go and sit down somewhere. But somehow I found a way to still pray. I still had to ask for his grace to go through. So before we call it a day, I'd like us to have a reflection exercise. And that is, you take a few moments and write in your journal. Get a journal, write in your journal. ask yourself questions like, what is one beautiful memory that I can never forget about this person? You can ask that and write out whatever answers that come to you. You can also say, what support do I really need right now at this moment? Okay? And why am I not asking for this support? Figure it out. Okay? You might just find out that the support is nearby, closer than you think. Another thing you can write is, okay, what responsibility can I carry and what can I share? So what can I delegate to others so I don't carry this burden all alone? Trust me, you need to get others along on this. No matter how difficult it may seem, you still need help. And also, what will my loved one want me to remember at this season, at this difficult time? Okay, my loved one that just passed, what would they want me to remember? What would they want me to figure out? Because sometimes healing comes with conversations like this that you have with yourself. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Money Magnet podcast. If this message blessed you, please feel free to like, subscribe, share with friends, and join the newsletter community with the link below. And remember, healing matters, okay? Your story also matters, and your grief matters, and you will get to the healing stage eventually. Next week, we'll be continuing our series of processing grief, and we'll be exploring more on the topic of how to deal with guilt in grief. Bye.